Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. You know, there's a personality, a martial arts personality that is here on YouTube, that has been on YouTube for quite a while. He has his own channel. He's a Chinese gentleman that goes by the name of Master Wong. I don't have anything against Master Wong personally. I would have no reason to have anything against him personally. But there has been some controversy about what he shows as it relates to self-defense here on YouTube. And there are people who have done experiments with some of the techniques and some of his theories, if you will, as to how he conducts certain self-defense applications in the street. I want to say this. I think he's very energetic. I do think he's knowledgeable on some level. I'm not beating up on him. He has quite a following, and he does indeed have a pretty peculiar presentation, if you will. He can be very animated. One thing that I don't like about his presentations is the fact that he uses a lot of vulgar language or colorful language. Now, seeing that YouTube is an open venue for a lot of people to watch, and then even teenagers, young children get on YouTube, and I'm not talking children's YouTube necessarily. They get on the main YouTube, and these types of things are available to them as well, especially when they don't have parental guidance as to what they're watching on the internet. And you come across an individual's channel like Master Wong, and he's not the only one, but he's the one that I'm talking about at present. But anyway, I don't want to hear F this and F that and S this, when you're talking to the general public. That speaks volumes to me in a negative sense as it relates to how you are conveying a message to the general public. I believe that you should have some self-control, a certain decorum when you're talking to the general public. Now, I know you can get excited or be excited. Do that within the confines of your home, your dojo, your dojang, or your kun, or your training hall, wherever you might be. But it's not necessarily a good thing to do it for the wide open audience that we find here on YouTube. I believe that he has credibility. But as it relates to some of the self-defense that he teaches on YouTube, or he exhibits, I should say, some things I'm not 100% for. For example, just speaking in general, you have to take everyone into consideration when you're talking about self-defense. My belief is this. I'm not saying anyone should subscribe to my belief, but I'm just telling you the way I see it and the way I have understood or comprehended it most of my life in the martial arts. It is my firm belief that if you're going to teach self-defense in a video, especially online on YouTube as a platform, then you should pretty much teach it in concept and in principle, in theory for some. In other words, teach people structure. Give them the idea of what it is that you're trying to teach, and make it fit virtually anyone that you could possibly have as an audience. So look at everyone as being uniquely different. So if I'm teaching martial arts self-defense videos, I'm going to break it down pretty much step by step, baby steps, scientifically, and explain to you what it is that I'm doing, and tell you, the audience that's watching me, why I'm doing it, how it works, when to use it, how to use it. Okay? I'm not just going to go through some scenario of a person attacking me or an individual attacking me and me just going through a movement that's pre-orchestrated or is already set up or designed to be a certain way in terms of the result. on YouTube. Even though for safety reasons, of course, I'm sure people do practice before they do a video online. An instructor with a student or a good friend or what have you. But the way I've seen Master Wong do his videos, he has a strong intent, strong will. He's very aggressive, and as I said before, even animated about what he does, and he's very determined. And I get it, I really do. But when you're trying to appeal to the masses that are watching your videos, and you're going to do what is or should be considered a quality video on self-defense, most people don't understand what you're doing. They just simply don't. For example, if I'm talking to a novice or a beginner, I want to give you something that you can take home with you right now in practice. First thing that I would do, because I don't know what your mindset is, what your temperament is, what your personality is, or your character. There are some people who are very aggressive by nature. There are some people who are mediocre in terms of their temperament. There are some people who are very passive, or even just fearful people. All of these people may want to learn self-defense, but they all are going to learn it with a different mindset or intent, or even aggression or lack thereof. You must take these individuals into consideration when you're speaking over the airways, so to speak, or teaching over the airways. So the first thing I want to do is explain to those people who may not be used to physical contact, get with a competent instructor or a close relative, friend, uncle, brother, sister, or whomever, and develop the mindset for self-defense. Try to teach yourself how to switch gears when you're out in public, when you're in a situation where you want to turn it on, you want to turn on that animal side of you, because survival is something that you are trying to obtain in a street situation. You don't want someone to overwhelm you. You don't want to become a victim. So to see a guy saying, "Hey Bobby, hold me in this position," and then you get out of the position, see what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way. If I tell you a particular technique, for example, if a person grabs you with a two-handed choke or a one-handed choke on your lapel or your jacket or your sweat jacket or whatever, if they're holding you, I'm going to explain to you what mindset you should have first, and then I'm going to explain to you that they only have one hand holding you and they have one hand left. This is concept. And always go for vulnerable targets that effect an immediate response from your opponent or your assailant. Soft tissue, the eyes, the nose, palm strike, especially for women. Most women can't punch in the street, especially punching a man in the street. Under the throat, the Y of the hand or chop, the arteries on the side of the neck. Learning to develop and condition yourself for certain types of techniques, sharpening your tools. Everything that you see in the video does not always transfer or translate very well from person to person. We are all different, as I forestated. So, getting back to Master Wong, he has pretty good presentation. He has pretty good videos from the standpoint of entertainment rather. But a lot of what I see him do should be possibly for somebody who's advanced, but definitely not for beginners. Because if you're going to have a beginner watching your self-defense videos, then you have to teach them on a beginner level. It's really that simple. I hope that you were able to glean something useful from what I just said. Beginners can't comprehend, they can't comprehend all of the extra stuff. Take them baby steps. That's it. That's all. This brother teacher.